everyone.
Hi.
We are Allie.
And Abel.
Together we make
Young, Dumb, and Sober.
We are here on the Soberocity YouTube channel.
For a discount on Soberocity merchandise, use the code THANKS12. We're going to have that in the description.
There's a bunch of cool stuff on there. You can get to their store by going on the Soberocity website.
Take some pictures, tag us on social media. What are we talking about today?
Today we are going to hit on the topic of gratitude.
What's that?
Who's she?
Where?
We kind of came to the conclusion earlier that people seem to make gratitude come out as supernatural and very easy and almost intuitive, whereas
they are supernatural. They're like ghosts. Never seen them.
They're demons. And so are we. And that's, thanks, that's it. We're gonna take a deep dive into gratitude.
Allie, since I know that you are the expert on this, what does gratitude mean to you?
First of all, I resent being called an expert on anything.
Okay.
I struggle with gratitude, appreciating what you have. More than that, I think that it is an action verb, not just a noun. Similar to love is an action. I think gratitude is something that you do, that you have to take responsibility for, to create in your life.
Okay. I think it's really being able to take a look at the things in your life that have really created positivity and expressing it by exchanging energy with that person, place, or thing.
Yeah.
And really just kind of like giving back in a way that acknowledges what you've received.
Yeah.
I said that?
Yeah.
Tony Robbins probably said that.
We have no original thoughts. We just repeat what Tony Robbins said.
Yeah.
Why is gratitude important?
Because you said that gratitude is an action, gratitude is giving instead of just taking. Gratitude is a way of acknowledging that it's a two-way street. I've been given, therefore I shall give back. I think that the way that we work together is a form of gratitude. Some weeks I don't do as much, and then sometimes I have to like pick up, or like you might have like a busy day and I have to like finish off whatever it is that we're working on. It's just, that's how we work. We say, okay, you've done, I will also do too. And we're not counting tit for tat.
Yes.
We know that we do as much as we can. Gratitude is not keeping count. It's just saying, I do for you as you do for me.
It's weird. I never really looked at gratitude as...
I can tell.
As a... Fuck you. I never looked at gratitude as something that is interactive until like you pointed it out to me. It is, I think, by nature, but I always kind of looked at it as something static. The more grateful energy that we put out into the universe, we also attract it back to us. Like, that's what I'm seeing as like something new. I think that if you do it for long enough, it can train you to alter your perception about things. It's that same concept of like, you can't appreciate the light without darkness. We maybe can't appreciate the good without the bad. And in this sense, I would say the gratitude is the good. The opposite energy of gratitude and gratefulness is selfishness and self-centeredness. For me, when I feel like that, which is a lot, honestly, it's a place of suffering. I hate being in self. Like, it is not comfortable for me. It feels bad. If I could choose between that or its counterpart, which is gratitude, I would 100% choose gratitude, even if it takes a little bit more work.
You know how they say you can't have the good without the bad, or light without darkness? I think the thing is that also our perception of what is good and what is bad affects our gratitude, because if you see something as bad, then you won't have gratitude for it. We also have to find the good in the bad perspective, which obviously we'll get into, changing that perspective and finding opportunities in bad situations. We consider things good or bad depending on how they affect us. Once again, the self.
Yes.
So using gratitude or finding gratitude in all given situations, I think, is probably important, because it allows us to take situations which we might otherwise see as bad and look at them as just neutral, and how we can add value in that situation. Maybe not for ourselves, because that's the problem. I mean, I don't always remember that.
I really
Yeah.
like that you use the word neutrality. That's like what was sticking out in my head too.
Yeah.
Nothing intrinsically has any meaning. It's what we put onto it. So it's
Yes.
very much a matter of how can I be grateful for the fact that my cat died? You know, like that sucks. Like your cat dying is fucking awful. Like I don't want my cats to ever die. This is a bad example.
No, it's not terrible because you can think, you know what, I got to spend a lot of time with my cat. We provided each other with companionship.
Yeah.
And yes, my cat passed, died, moved on. I don't know, is no longer with me, but my cat may not be suffering anymore.
And there's also in retrospect, and maybe it's hard in the moment, but then you look back and you say, wow, that loss was a building block for something completely random that came down the road, and I had no idea that it was going to be related to it, but it prepared me for a greater loss down the line.
Situations that involve loss also always remind us that our days are numbered. And they remind us of the mortal nature of humanity, to make the most out of the time that we get with the people and the things that we have in our life. Saying, you know what, this is a good reminder of the grander scheme of things and how I'm just a speck of dust. Okay, nope.
You went too far.
Yep.
Okay, what does gratitude look like? Gratitude manifests as tangible action. So recently I started, me and my partner, every morning we tell each other 3 things that we're grateful for. It has gotten me into the habit of when we don't do it and when we forget, I'm like, oh, I didn't think of 3 things that I'm grateful for today. The next day, if I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to do my gratitude the day before, I'll double up. The physical act of doing it and also being accountable to somebody else who's expecting you to hear that. I feel like this is what you're gonna say, and I don't know why I think you're gonna say this. Gratitude looks like being kind to other people.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's giving back to others.
Yeah. You're very other oriented, as weird as that is, because you're also like a selfish prick. Even though like you can sometimes get stuck in self, just like everybody else can, just like I do. To me, you're very other oriented. Even when it comes down to doing things that are good for you, I feel like you always find a way to tie an important person in your life to it somehow, or tie it to like the greater good. With your answers to these questions, I've seen that theme emerging. I knew you were gonna somehow bring it with other people, which I feel like is something I need to like learn from you, because I'm very like the opposite.
What does it have to do with sobriety? You know, being of service to others is major gratitude.
Fuck yeah. Shawn Mendes. Go on. Go on.
That's the gist of it. Finding recovery. No.
Ooh, I know, I like that.
Finding recovery in gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
Find recovery in gratitude. What does recovery have to do with sobriety and or what? No.
Recovery by nature is healing from something. At least for me, I can only speak from my own experience. The majority of my active addiction was spent in a very, very negative, suffering place of mind. Even getting sober, it's still very difficult for me. It's a slippery slope when it comes to making suggestions about using gratitude as a coping mechanism or as a tool for recovery, because for people with mental illness, I know that it's almost offensive. It's almost like, how dare you suggest I just be like, oh, but look at all this great stuff I have, when I have literal brain chemicals that are misfiring. I think that yes, it's obviously just it's a piece of recovery. It's the flipping of the switch. It's like going from this place of like constant negativity to maybe a little bit of positivity, a little bit
it
of
is
gratitude.
a habit. It's a habit.
So when we were researching gratitude for this video, we watched a video from Tony Robbins, who is talking about the power of human emotion. In the video, he does this little exercise. You make an inventory of your positive emotions, you make an inventory of your negative emotions, you circle 2 for each that you feel like you experience the most often. Very 12-step. Then you write down what you feel like contributes to those feelings. We tied gratitude into that. How are we finding the good and even the negative emotions and the things that trigger it? And obviously, how can we cultivate more gratitude through the positive emotions? So we're gonna do that exercise, and then we're gonna share with you guys what we came up with, and hopefully you will do the same and share in the comments. For my list of positive emotions, I have, and this is not all encompassing, obviously.
Right.
Joy, surprise, excitement, laughter, connection, intimacy, depth, pride, healthy pride, and love. The two that I circled that I feel like I experience most fully when I do experience them is laughter, even though I was like, is that even an emotion? But I feel like it is. And connection. And that's kind of like a slash love.
I thought it was a verb.
Yeah, laughter is like something you do. I'm not sure what the emotion is attached to it. I almost feel like it's like silliness.
Yeah.
Silliness and connection are like my two big positives. What are your...
Contentment.
Ooh.
Fulfilled. And validated, and I think those are really have to do with being seen and feeling like I have enough, I am enough, I do enough. I think those are really big for me because they're directly tied to my negative emotions.
Negative, I ran out of ink. Sadness, jealousy, possessiveness, the house, betrayal, paranoia / lack of trust, being unmotivated and confused. And the ones that I circled, the big ones for me, you know, like the boogeyman of them is the lack of trust, because I look at that as a lack of faith. Not just not trusting people or like motives, it's like not trusting the process. Like that's big. It's big negative energy. A lack of motivation is it just trickles into feeling bad about yourself and procrastination and I'm this, I'm that. Like, what does this say about me? Those are my two big negative ones. What are your negatives?
I wrote down 5.
You know you only had to circle 2, right?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Inadequacy, envy, fear, invisibility, which is a superpower, let's be honest. And behind, I circled behind and inadequacy. All of this is inadequacy. Envy is me feeling like I don't have enough or am not enough. Fear is feeling like I might not be able to protect myself. Not necessarily physically, I am not enough to be able to do enough. Invisible is I'm not enough to be seen, and behind because I don't have enough, I haven't done enough, I'm not enough. And that's the thing, I don't have to compare myself to other people. This is all inadequacy. All of my negatives have to do with inadequacy, which is why contentment, fulfillment, and validation.
How can you find gratitude in the negatives?
Honestly, I can find gratitude in these negative emotions by knowing that I'm not the only person and that there are people out there who feel that way.
Okay, loving that. Loving the gratitude connection to it. Trying to find gratitude in my two big scaries, the lack of trust, the lack of faith, and that unmotivation piece, which I definitely think inadequacy is a really good word to use. I can definitely connect with that. It's cute. So knowing that they're an issue, acknowledging that they're an issue helps me be grateful that I'm at a place in my life where I even have the awareness to say, wow, I'm not trusting in God right now.
Yeah.
When years ago, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. You know, like now I can see when I'm disconnected. I'm clear-headed enough now to even see that I'm unmotivated and be able to do something about it.
Right.
I have the capacity now to do something about these negative emotions, and that's something that I'm definitely grateful for. As far as finding ways to be more grateful for the positive emotions, I would think just being super mindful when I'm connecting with somebody on a face-to-face basis, or even like online with people through like Soberocity or Young, Dumb, and Sober, or any kind of connection with another human being. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, so we're filming from something else right now. If things look different, then it's not us, it's you. How do you plan to stay grateful for the positive emotions that you've identified? How you gonna nurture them bad boys?
I have been doing a lot of inner work to feel better about myself, but I think 2020 is my year. I don't make resolutions. If you're gonna start to do, you know what? This is not.
Don't. Just answer the question. You caught yourself early that time.
I did.
You're like, oh, that's an emotion.
They like to say be yourself, and then I be myself, and they're like, yeah, don't be that.
Wait.
That's not what we meant. I'm gonna keep challenging myself. I think being conscious of our actions is a step in the right direction, because it helps us just keep track of what we're doing and what we're not doing.
Yes.
If you guys like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. Also, don't forget to stop on over at Young, Dumb, and Sober on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy Friendsgiving.
Thanks, guys, for watching, and we will be seeing you more on the Soberocity channel in the upcoming weeks. Okay, bye!
Bye!